Greetings and welcome to the second video in our How to Legends series. Today we will be discussing lanes as well as proactive and reactive decks. So, one of the things that differentiates TESL, we'll go ahead and just hop into a practice game to demonstrate this. Play with experts, I don't really care if I win or lose. Differentiates TESL is lanes and the attacker chooses system. So in Magic the Gathering, I believe even in Eternal, they have a defender chooses blocks, and thus giving the defender the advantage on any trades that may or may not be happening. Let's start with an aggressive list. However, with TESL, you have a attacker chooses. So controlling various lanes and how that interacts, that's what we're going to be exploring today. So, you have two basic lanes. Your field lane, nothing fancy about that, and your shadow lane. We discussed those briefly last time, with the point that creatures placed into the shadow lane, and go ahead and show that off real quick here. Oh, mulligan. There we go. Creature entering the lane gains cover and can't be attacked for one turn. Field lane, I believe it says, yeah, no special rules. So, always, almost always, want to start opening up the field lane. Reason being, if you once you play here, you are then able to dictate any trades. So versus the Farron defender, where if he had played it over here, I would have just traded into it, taken a free trade. Now because he went shadow, we're actually gonna not play what I would normally play, which would be 5th Legion. Just to illustrate a point here, I'm able to set up a creature that he can't do anything about and claim a trade.
I used to be an adventurer like you.
Alright, so now he's going to force us to attack. And this is really, so he's playing a very reactive deck.
Death to the enemy.
He is looking at what we're doing and then trying to play around. I'm trying to keep the pressure by playing increasingly large creatures in the field lane. But as you can see, our Rift Thane has already 2 for 1 here.
Kill them all.
It's really what we're hoping to see. There, we're going to go ahead and start getting the value engine online.
Your orders.
Now, a lot of the fun and challenge of TESL comes in determining, like, we figured out pretty quick he was a reactive player with all the guards. But there's a fine finesse in determining what your opponent is playing. Am I the aggressive list? Am I the control list? What did he got here?
You won't escape alive.
Alright, that's... Alright, what's he got here on the second one? Well, that's unfortunate. Just get an extra card draw.
No matter what.
And we're going to make him do the trades, because if he takes this trade here, that's the equivalent of us healing for 2, because he didn't deal 2 damage to us. That trade is fine, because this guy's still alive and we'll get to make use of him later. Now, even in aggressive decks, and we are a very aggressive
You
list,
will not pass.
there can be a little bit of room for reactive play. So like I've got the Hive Defender, but I'm going to throw Dawnstar over here. I'm going to get 6 health off of those 2 rune breaks. Dawnstar Healer, after an enemy rune is destroyed, you gain 3 health. We're just going to throw down a Hive Defender. Guard up our lane.
On your guard.
It's probably going to end up being a shorter tutorial, as I don't think there's a whole lot more to explain beyond what we've done. But I'm not sure if you guys could hear that. Cat's around like
the spine of obedience.
Yeah, and there's going to be the game. We'll let our own Fur Demon get it. We'll play a reactive deck. AI has actually cooperated with us very well. This is my first time recording it, and it played a reactive deck into our proactive. It was great. We'll see if we can get lucky, and I will pull a reactive list. I think we played it in the other tutorial, Banelord. So in this one, it doesn't really matter what our opponent is playing. Our job is to sit back and just react to what they play. Brutal Bolt. So he's probably got a lot of actions, which is going to be unfortunate for us. So in the early mulligan, we're going to be looking for very reactive cards. Give an enemy creature -1/-1. I think I'll actually keep the Scourge because it gives us a curse, which is just a 0 cost drain vitality. I think we'll throw the Viper back because I'm not expecting blue to have any big creatures that we can't deal with. Viper was better than Saisahan, but is what it is.
I keep a spare blade in my boot.
Sure enough, he drops down something with 1 health, gives it a ward so that we can't remove it. However, Drain Vitality and Curses bypass wards, so we can just go ahead and...
Gone!
We just got two cards removed, the Lesser Ward and the creature for 1 value. Now he's got the Ward Crafter, also at 1 health, so if we can find another effect. We don't get it, and unfortunately we've drawn 7/4/4/4. He's going to equip his dagger, send it face, play what is known, and we'll get to this later, but a Tempo Harpy. A creature that's played with an effect, but it's being played without that effect. We'll get more into various terms that I'm using in a couple tutorials from now. Let me take a look at our list real quick. Tutorials. Yeah, next one we're going to look at Solo Arena, collection building. Now I'm contesting even though he's going to get the trade, because that is still going to give me a curse, which would allow me to kill, or it allows me to contest something else
This
that he
day
plays.
is mine.
Another creature. That's fine. We're just gonna remove the Harpy. Without our Murkwater Scourge to contest. And again, since we're not really trying to break runes or go base, we're fine just reacting to what he's got. Extra health there, that's fine. We're starting to draw into some of our chunky boys. Another curse though. I think we're gonna draw with Camel. I'm gonna pick up Sheer Point, which actually increases the value of our curses. And we can play that next turn. We do run Odinera Necromancer, which would let us pull that Viper back from our discard. Bottle at the Camel, that's fine. There is said Necromancer. Summon a creature from your discard pile with less power than said Necromancer. We're going to go ahead, play Sheer, give a creature -2/-2. And we looked at this last time. Whenever you reduce an effect, reduce it by an extra 1. So this is -1/-1. Now -2. And then we'll just trade the Camel off to keep our resource in hand. And at this point, we've pretty well won the game.
This might be handy.
So now we're going to move to the part in a control or reactive player's life where they're like, alright, I've actually got to win the game. Your opponent might have actually conceded by this point.
The Hist revives. What have we here?
We're just going to use our curse. If I really need to remove something, I have access to weakness or sheer point. The A at this point is basically done. So we're just going to start building the board. Get out some drain. As a reactive player, we do need to keep comeback mechanics in our deck so that we have ways to get health or survive the initial beating that aggro gives us. We're going to just play another sheer point. Knock him down to 26.
Shall we put him at this on a stage where...
Don't see any reason to give him cards. We'll do a big push next turn. So let's start making our move.
I can smell your fear.
Dread Mage -2, -3, -4. Clears that.
By the power of the Hist.
I think we're going to put him at 9. Well, let's drop him
Horns
to 2.
and claws.
Chances of him being able to come back from that are incredibly small.
I do not fear.
Play out a Fighter's Guild Recruit.
Let's
Away
shed
1.
some light on the
Firebolt. Probably Firebolts away the bat. That picks the
I
lethal.
stand ready.
Drops a guard. But we've got plenty of damage over here, so we'll just go ahead and close out the game. So again, we opened up to the field lane. We forced our opponent to play into the shadow lane once we had finally taken control of it. Then once we had that, we started playing creatures to shadow. and just got favorable trades where we could. That's how you play reactive. We will be getting into more how to build a proactive or aggro deck, or how to build a more reactive control deck, or how to build like a mid-range deck, which has elements of both. We'll be getting to that in a later tutorial. Let's do one more aggro list, see if we can queue into an aggro versus aggro. Let's see. This one will give us a good feel. It's a little bit more mid-range, but I play it as aggressive. Alright. Okay, Crusader. Good. Right now we have two decks that would both be described as proactive. So the rules actually don't change. We want ways of contesting the field lane and just trying to get the most value. Us having Ring will probably let us get...
Soldiers,
Nope, he has Scouting Control.
How can I serve?
So he is the first person to get a presence. He gets presence into both lanes. We're going to go ahead and put one of our Phantoms out here. It contests the 1-1, threatens a favorable trade. He drops Orc Clan Captain, but chooses not to trade. That's going to let us get some U-Shield value here. U-Shield, +1/+1 for each creature in the lane. Move the buff creature, and now we have a guard. And Daggerfall Phantom, if we get that last gas bonus when it dies, we are actually going to get that U-Shield back. I'm going to go ahead and play the other Daggerfall Phantom there. I'm going to drop a Satanine, buffing himself. Just so that after he makes this trade, we're still going to have presence in the lane.
Acknowledged.
Now he is starting to get the better of us. We're going to rely on our sowers to kind of buy us that tempo we need back. Not this turn, though. This turn we're going to use Skin Town, give this guy +2 health. Take advantage of the field. We're going to use Shield over here. Turn him into a 5/5. And even though we're an aggressive list, and he's an aggressive list, we're still trading, trying to take control of the board, getting value trades where we can. And that draws him a support. I don't want to risk that getting through. We're just going to put down a big old body.
You should.
Follow me, men.
Markarth Bannerman. That is an actual problem for us. We do want to use our Magicka efficiently, so we're probably going to play both of these. Normally, you would break a rune first and then play cards. However, Beast Form requires us to break the rune first.
You die.
We're going to go ahead and send that face. Break the rune, get our 3-cost, 3/4 Drain Werewolf out. And we're going to play this guy. Based on what card's on top of our deck, he's going to give us bonuses.
We of the Reach adapt and survive.
Alright, so we got purple. Only purple, so there's a purple card on top of our deck.
Isgramor!
Alright, so he does just make the trade there. We get our U-Shield back, courtesy his last
this.
gas effect.
Let's do this.
There's those two little Nords.
Talos.
Looks like the AI's running out of gas.
They will not get past
He's
me.
ahead, so that's actually an aggressive mode, which is what we want.
You will perish in pain.
So we're going to go ahead and just push damage face. So now we're in a race.
For my kinsmen.
We're just going to load up our guys here. If he wants to clear that lane, that's last gas, deal 5 damage. Last gas, deal 5 damage, and he's only got 12.
Time to fight. Death to the enemy.
So that's going to be game.
Talos.
Even if he prophesies something to stay out of it. But that's how you deal with a aggro v aggro. You kind of do a little bit of board control where you can. Then once you realize you can win the race, you go.
You will perish in pain.
Can we skip a rune here? We can, because this guy gives +3/+3. Bump that up to 8. And we close out the game. Collect our 15 soul gems, and we call it a day. Eventually. There we go. Alright, I guess we're just going to go to end then. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I will be going and reviewing those. Also, if you want to catch up with me or follow me, I've got a Twitter, link below, and a Twitch where we do live streaming most days of the week. The schedule changes, but it's follow the link, it'll tell you when the schedule is. So, thank you very much. I'll see you guys on the ladder.